Let's go. Let's go. Let's tie this thing up. You got this, Matt Bryant? Come on, let's send us to overtime, okay? You got it?
Good hold, and it is no good. Can you believe it?
Welcome, everybody, to Kleschka Picks week number 7. I hope you enjoyed that intro, but look at this outtake right here. This actually happened. This was real. Here you go. Hey, hey! Oh, that was completely real. Hey, hey! Hey, hey! Oh, that was completely real. Yeah, that was quite embarrassing. But let's get started with the Thursday game, the Chiefs and the Broncos. The Chiefs, they lost again to the Texans. That is a very tough team. Both of these teams are very good. They have young, talented quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson, and then you have Patrick Mahomes, who's hurt. His ankle, I believe it's his left ankle. One of his ankles is bothering him, and if you have to sit him a week or two to make sure that ankle's 100%, so when you get farther in the season he's not completely terrible and he can actually run, then I'd say do it. Just make sure you're preparing for the future. The Broncos, I gotta check really quick because I don't remember what the Broncos did last week. Hold on a sec. The Broncos got a victory. They shut out the Titans, and the Titans are having their struggles. It seems like when their quarterback doesn't do good, yeah, the rest of the game ain't going to be so good. So you got a winning Broncos team last week and a losing Chiefs team. You think that'd be the other way around. But it wasn't, and Philip Lindsay's looked very good for the Broncos. Their ground game has gotten better because of him. And then you got the Chiefs, like I said, who with Patrick Mahomes and his ability not to run, that seems to be hurting them. Even though Tyreek Hill had a very impressive return from injury, I think the Chiefs are the better team with an injured Patrick Mahomes. They got Tyreek Hill back, and I don't think the Broncos have enough talent to stop the Chiefs, even with Patrick Mahomes being hurt. I think the Chiefs will win 24-17. Packers and Raiders. Raiders were on a bye week last week, and Mason Crosby for the Packers kicked himself a game-winning field goal. I'm surprised I didn't fall on that kick attempt. I even got my kick in frame. That is very impressive for myself, considering I am not an NFL kicker and not the most flexible. But the Packers, they started off pretty slow. The Lions had the hot hand. They started with a flea flicker, run, toss it back, get ready, and Matthew Stafford threw that thing deep, and it looked like they were going to start off high. And they gave the Packers a battle for sure. The Packers have not looked like the Packers that dominate the entire NFL this year. Aaron Rodgers has not looked like elite Aaron Rodgers, but he's still getting the job done. They still got a victory last week, like I said, and I still think they still have enough talent around them with Aaron Rodgers performing okay, pretty well and good. And then Aaron Jones, who could have had a better Monday night, but he's having a solid season. Before this Monday night game, he had a monster game. And Jamal Williams stepped up on the Monday night game. So it's not like they're completely doomed to running back when one of them does bad. They got that duo. Aaron Jones is doing good, and then you got Jamal Williams down here. And Jamal Williams does good, and you got Aaron Jones down here. Or they could both perform and both do very well. And there's also the chance that they both do very bad. But then Devontae Adams has been injured. I'm not sure on his return yet. Now Aaron Rodgers has a little bit of that ability of Tom Brady to make anybody he throws to really better. But Tom Brady is pretty much the king of that. Aaron Rodgers, though, still elite quarterback, still can make plays, and I think the Packers have a better team than the Raiders. So I think the Packers are going to win 23-13. Rams and Falcons. Rams lost to the 49ers last week, who continue to prove themselves with their undefeated record and show that they are for real. Jimmy Garoppolo made great use of his target. Jimmy Garoppolo made great use of his target, Jimmy Garoppolo. George Kittle last week had 100 yards receiving, which makes me a happy camper because I got George Kittle on my fantasy team. So if he does good, then you know Austin is smiling. Okay, and then we had the Falcons, who should have gotten overtime with the Cardinals, but you saw my intro. Matt Bryant missed that PAT, and they took the L. That was just very embarrassing for them. I cannot believe that. The Rams just recently, actually as I'm filming this, probably like 2 hours ago, traded away Marcus Peters, who was definitely a stud defender in Kansas City, and then he found his way to the Rams, and I guess he just hasn't been putting up the same numbers and been playing the same defense in Los Angeles. Obviously, they traded him away, or Baltimore just wants to be a better contender and get a better corner, because the dude has talent and he has potential, so if they can draw that out of him, then you're going to get a really solid corner. Maybe it's his attitude, because I know that's a problem too, but the Rams still have a solid defense, and the Falcons, I try to save you guys. I try to say that Devonta Freeman, Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley should all have enough firepower to get the job done offensively, and they're getting touchdowns, they're getting points, but their defense is really not helping them. They're allowing the other team to get more than them constantly, and when you gotta just fight the entire time on offense, it's not gonna win you football games. The defense has to be there too, and it just hasn't been for the Falcons. The Rams definitely are the Super Bowl dominant Rams from last year, but I think they're a better team than the Falcons currently, so I think the Rams will win 27-24. 49ers and Redskins. Redskins got a win last week. Celebration time for the Redskins. Not a Redskins fan, but it's their first win on the season, and it might be their only win on the season. The Dolphins had a chance to take that thing to overtime on what was the most bizarre two-point conversion play I had ever seen. They needed a 2-point to win because they could have tied it and gone to overtime. But they were like, you know, our season's doomed. Let's try and get a victory right here. Ryan Fitzmagic came in, and yes, I'm saying Fitzmagic. Somebody called me out for that last week. It's his nickname. It's a fun little name that everyone gives him. At least a lot of people that I know say it. So he ties up the game, or he gets them a score away from tying the game. All they need is this 2-point conversion, or they can tie it to go to overtime. And snap the ball, throw to Kenyon Drake, and all he's got to do is catch it and like dive 2 yards to the side to get in the end zone. He doesn't even catch the ball. He drops the ball. Dolphins lose. Redskins get a win. And then we have the 49ers, who, like I said, they're looking real, which is also making me pretty upset because I'm a Seahawks fan. So can you guys lose a game? Because the Seahawks have already lost one. So it's kind of hard for us to keep up. When they keep winning, they need to at least lose one. And then we can have the same record if we win as well. And the 49ers just got tons of talent. Their running game is looking strong with Matt Breida. And then you got Jimmy Garoppolo, who's been pretty solid. He hasn't been lighting the world on fire, but he's getting the job done. He's got receivers like Marquise Goodwin and George Kittle, who are very, very talented. So it's easy for me to see that the 49ers are going to stay undefeated, because the Redskins have one of the worst passing defenses currently this year. Any team, any quarterback that knows they're about to face the Redskins, they probably have the biggest smile on their face, because they're like, oh yeah, I'm padding the stats this week. So I see the 49ers remaining undefeated and absolutely dominating the Redskins 33-7. Colts and Texans. Texans got that surprise win over the Chiefs. Like I said, they've been struggling, but the Texans, they were not. Deshaun Watson was on his game, and he led them to victory. And then he had the Colts on a bye week last week. I think the Texans are the better team. They're going to put up a pretty good battle, I feel like, the Colts are. And I think it's going to be a good game. I honestly think the Colts might have a shot at winning this game, but to me, I think the Texans are going to win. Do not count the Colts out. I still think they will put up a great fight, and it will be a good game. Where did this game go? Okay, I think the Texans are going to win 30-24. Vikings and Lions. You saw Lions lose to the Packers on that walk-off field goal by Mason Crosby that I brilliantly demonstrated earlier in this video. And they had the Vikings, who absolutely lit it on fire last week. Kirk Cousins, that dude just turned into one of the most monster quarterback performances this year. Stephon Diggs, you know, he's like, I don't get enough targets, and they're not throwing the ball to me. And then he's blew up. He's like 3 touchdowns. Order up, baby. And he just got 3 like that on the spot. What a day for the Vikings. They got to be feeling very confident. And the Lions, they got to be feeling not so confident, because, like I said, walk-off field goals, those got to hurt. Especially when you feel like you had a chance in the game through most of the game. Then they come and do that to you, and you get the L. That's got to hurt. Really's got to hurt. The Vikings looked so good last week, and they definitely got weapons. They got Dalvin Cook, who is performing well because the passing game. Adam Thielen is doing very well this season. Stephon Diggs looks like he's about to be better than he was to start the season. Kirk Cousins has all this around him. How could you perform badly? The defense has Anthony Barr. You got Xavier Rhodes. I just see this as a very good Vikings team, and I think they will beat the Lions 24-20. Jaguars and Bengals. The Bengals lost to the Ravens last week, mainly due to Lamar Jackson's legs. And then you had the Jaguars, who lost to the Saints at a very low-scoring affair. Didn't really see much Minshew mania in that one. Let's see, the Jaguars, I think we will see Minshew mania again this week. The Bengals are looking like it's going to be tough for them to get one win this season. They might go 0-16, but I think they have a better shot than the Dolphins, who are the other winless team. So I think the Jaguars will beat the Bengals 23-17. Cardinals and Giants. Cardinals snuck away with a win against the Falcons. And the Giants, they put up a pretty good fight against the Patriots on Thursday Night Football last week, but in the end they ended up losing. Daniel Jones, though, he did not quit. He fought all game. And I think this is going to be a good week for him. The Cardinals, they give up points, that's for sure. They are getting Patrick Peterson back soon, but one man cannot make a whole defense when you have 11 men on the field. They can just avoid Patrick Peterson the whole game and pick on the other defensive members. So I think it's going to be a good offensive battle for the Giants. They might get Evan Ingram and Saquon Barkley back this week. Two huge weapons for the Giants, who Daniel Jones really hasn't come to know on the offense yet. So he's going to have a lot of fun. And I think the Cardinals will stay in it, but I think they're just going to give up too many points to win the game. So I think the Giants are going to beat the Cardinals 30-27. Bills and Dolphins. You already know what happened to the Dolphins. I explained that. They lost. They had a chance to get their first win. They were doing risk it for the biscuit. They did not get the biscuit. And then you got the Bills, who are on a bye week. The Bills are very good defensively. Their offense has been getting the job done because of the defense performing well. And I don't see the Dolphins beating them because of their defense. So I think the Bills will win 20-9. Chargers and Titans. Both of these teams performed pretty badly last week. The Titans, you know what they had on that scoreboard? A 0. Zilch. Nada. Nothing. And then you have the Chargers, who I thought were going to beat the Steelers. I thought that was for sure. They almost came back. Almost. But I thought they should have ran away with it. I mean, you got a third-string quarterback starting for the Steelers, but it really wasn't on him. James Conner took over that game, and he really put the ball in his hands, used his legs, and he just, he dominated the Chargers. And that was really a game that they should have been looking at and been like, guys, they got injuries that are affecting this team. We can win this. And they did not. So, yeah, and for the Titans, without a strong quarterback performance, it looks like they just don't perform. Derrick Henry did not perform well because of Marcus Mariota not performing well. The receivers don't perform well. So unless they get strong quarterback play, then it looks like it's very tough for the Titans. I think the Chargers will win this game. I think they're the better team. They got more talent. I think they will win 26-14. Seahawks and Ravens. Ravens, like I said, Lamar Jackson ran all over the Bengals to secure victory last week. And the Seahawks, they scared me because I thought we were going to lose to the Browns for a minute. And they totally are a team that could beat us with all the talent. Like, if I throw names at you like Odell Beckham, Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, then you're like, man, that's a talented team. How does anybody beat those guys? But the Browns this season have been like, yeah, we got all those names. Are we going to do anything about it? No! So they have not come together with all those players. And the Seahawks have looked very well. Very well. Why does that sound weird to me? Very good, I guess. Very great. Exciting. Fantastic. Russell Wilson has been performing at MVP level. Right now, he's the lead MVP candidate. And that's not me being biased. That's all over the NFL. You can debate with your friends. I say Russell Wilson, if the season ended now, is the MVP. And he's been playing like it. He's been making Tyler Lockett look very good. DK Metcalf is having a strong rookie start. And then Chris Carson, with all the success, can also perform well. He should hold on to the ball a little more, but hey, he's getting the job done. This is going to be a tough matchup for Austin, for the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are the more talented team. I feel like they will have trouble with the Ravens' rush game, but I feel like they will win. And rotate phone, there you go, 24-19. Saints and Bears. Last week, the Saints won, I mentioned that, against the Jaguars, and the Bears were on a bye week. If the Bears defense performs to its elite status, then I think this will be Teddy Bridgewater's first really tough matchup since taking over for Drew Brees and that injury. They have played teams that, have kind of let them walk all over. Well, actually, no. The Cowboys, that's a tough opponent. We were a tough one in the Seahawks. But I feel like this is the toughest defense Teddy Bridgewater has yet to face. I definitely feel like they're going to give him a challenge. But I think with all the weapons, even though last week the Jaguars shut him down, Alvin Kamara really was shut down by the Jaguars. Michael Thomas, he did okay. He had a good game. but it was not the Saints offense that you're used to seeing, and that was from the Jaguars. So if the Bears are on top of their game, they could completely shut down the Saints, but I don't think that's going to happen. I just don't see them being able to shut down every weapon they have, and Teddy Bridgewater's done a solid job taking over, so I think the Saints will win 20-17. Eagles and Cowboys. Eagles lost to the Vikings. Like I said, Vikings offense exploded, and the Cowboys lost to the Jets. What? We also had a very long field goal in that game. Let's see if I can do this twice in one video. From Brett Maher. I got my foot up there again. Did you see that? He kicked a 62-yard field goal, and it wasn't in Denver. That is very impressive. That is a strong leg you got there, Brett. And I think the Cowboys are not going to be pushed around like they were from the Jets. I don't think the Eagles are going to come in here and slaughter them. I think the Cowboys are going to get back on track, even though they might have lost Amari Cooper for this week, and who knows how long. But he went out with an injury in that game against the Jets. And that's huge. That is huge. Dak Prescott loves throwing to Amari Cooper, but he's still got one of the best running backs in football in Ezekiel Elliott. So I think they can still get the job done. I feel like the Eagles will give them a tough time, but I think the Cowboys will win this game 26-20. Finally, the Patriots and the Jets. The Patriots last week, they beat the Giants on Thursday Night Football, and the Jets, they played against the Cowboys, like I just mentioned, and apparently having Sam Darnold back means good things for them because they won the game and beat the Cowboys. I still cannot believe they beat the Cowboys. Sam Darnold, obviously a legend in New York already. I mean, if he can do like that in the playoffs, then this dude is going to be loved in New York for many years to come. But this is another tough task for him. The Patriots, their defense has been the best in football this year, and Tom Brady hasn't been exactly like MVP Tom Brady, but hey, with that defense performing as well as it is, then I'm pretty sure any quarterback could carry their team to victory without having to do much. Anyways, the Patriots are so talented and they're undefeated. I don't think Sam Darnold's going to come in here and beat the Jets with how they're playing this season. So I think the Patriots are going to win 31-24. Okay, everybody, thank you for watching this video. And if you notice, I've been putting players in the thumbnails again. I really should have been doing that all season. So if you want to come back after the Sunday games are over, or all the games are over, and let me know in the comments of this video each and every week, you know, like week 7, week 8, week 8, and who the top performers were and who you think should be in the thumbnail. It's going to be 2 in the thumbnail every week. You know, you got me, and then you got player here, player here. The top performers will be on my left and right. So that is what's going to happen in the thumbnail from now on. Thank you for watching. If you made it to the end of this video, who do you think the top performer was last week? I put mine in the thumbnail, who I thought they were. You obviously saw it. And like the video, subscribe, tell your mom, your dad, your grandma, and grandpa, your best friend, your pets, and everybody you know, and I'll see you next time.